is Partick McHugh. We are in Onalaska, Wisconsin, and we run 2,000 acres of multiple varieties of cash crops, corn, soybeans, vegetable crops, organic production, and also fresh market sweet corn. Well, the tires we are running have been something new to us this spring. We've been through many sets of tires over the years, and even started out with bias, of course. And we've always looking for improvements to leave less of a footprint out in the field. And so these VFs that we put on with Alliance this year have been a great improvement. Been very happy with them. You can certainly notice a lot less bouncing out in the field, a lot more control. You can even turn the tires easier as you're going out there, and you can get through the field at quicker speeds with less interruption on the machine itself. So we've been very happy. Well, what made me interested in these VF tires was looking at the footprint, and our local tire dealer, Dagenhart Tire. I've always asked them to work in pounds per square inch on how much we're actually putting onto the ground. And with dealing with them, we were able to do calculations that was far less than what a normal conventional radial tire is. And so we were certainly willing to do some testing and take a look at that and see how much of a difference it actually is out in the field. Compaction is important to be aware of in your fields because of it restricts root growth. It doesn't allow your plants roots to get deep enough into the soil. It's not as big a deal on years that it's wet because there's plenty of soil moisture available, but on drier years it is quite blatantly different. You certainly see a 20 to 30% yield drop easily, especially along the headlands when you're on 10-ton axle loads or heavier especially, and even if it's too wet, and if you're going over those same areas again and again, not only is it easily visible by eye, but it's very easily visible with the yield monitor at the end of the year. Compaction is very important to me. You can ask almost all my guys how particular I am on not wanting semis, even empty semis, turning around into the fields. Compaction is so important because it's not hard to tell throughout the field at the end of the year. When I look at my yield maps, you can easily see the yield difference and the tracks throughout the field, how much of a difference the yield loss is. And of course, we want to be able to maintain that soil and profile and keep it from getting worse. We want it to make it better. And unfortunately, with compaction, it can go so deep sometimes that it can't be alleviated with conventional tillage tools. Anything over a 10-ton axle load, from my research, will go down anywhere from 2 to 4 feet deep. And it will alleviate in time with the right procedures, but it can take up to 10 years for that compaction to take care of itself. And 10 years at even 10% loss makes a huge difference and adds up in a hurry, even if it's just $3 corn. Well, when we use the penetrometer, it has marks on it, and it's about 2 to 4 inch increments depending on your penetrometer. And so of course it's good for about 2 to 2.5 feet, the probe is. And so we always go all the way down as far as you can. And when you first start out, you push down, it's a T handle, and you push straight down until you feel your resistance. And that's when you start to see the pressure spike up on the gauge, is where you stop. And then you take it out and check your depth and keep track of that and the pounds of resistance to get pushed through that hard pan, which on general is about 1 inch thick, 1/2 inch to 1 inch thick. The difference from what we see, because most of our soils, when we run the penetrometer, you see about anywhere from 75 up to about 200, 250 pounds of resistance through the soil at anywhere from 8 to 16 inches in depth. On average, from what we've tested, and we try to test between all the soil types, between our sand, our clays, and our black dirts, to be broad term. And on average, we're seeing anywhere from about a 10 to 30 pound difference of resistance in the soil. We certainly would like to implement VF tires with almost all of our equipment that is in the field. It is, just not only from yield standpoint, the ride, the comfort with the operator. the ease on the machine itself. It's not banging around as hard as it is. And in the fall, how important it will be too, because we deal with a lot of frozen ground. And I know that it will make a large difference this fall too when we harvest during those times of the year. And if you have to absolutely go get it and get through a wet spot, well, you'll go right through it and get it.